Alright, love. It's been a rough ride here, but you're out there somewhere, but it'll be alright.
You're kind, you're rough. Sometimes it's hard to endure. It's passionate. It's what you make it. And hopefully I can find a person to endure love with and the passion of love with.
I understand you in a sense of family and my hobbies and interests, but I don't quite understand you in the way that I share with another person, and I would love to find that.
They say you're hard to find. I'm still trying to find you. Every time I think I found you, I'm always wrong. Should I just give up?
Today's episode is about exes, opposite sex friends, as well as like friends with benefits. So that's what we'll talk about today.
Right. I
got all the
It's like all of it's currently.
I really like all right. So what we'll do is if sometimes people will talk and they'll have like a rebuttal, or you'll be like agreeing, or maybe you'll disagree. And within the question, we can have that conversation too. So feel free to not interrupt, but feel free to have a comeback. Feel free to, just have a conversation. It don't have to be all systematic, like popcorn and shit, Excuse me, teacher. All right, so when we start off, I am going to go ahead and kind of just work it systematically to begin, but then it usually kind of just flows from there. All right, so I'm going to start over here first. All right, the first question is, do you feel like exes should remain in the past?
Yes and no.
Okay, talk to me.
Yes, if I really don't know. Like, I have some exes that are just like straight up disrespectful. So if I get into anything, they're gonna like, oh, F that, you're mine first, blah, blah, blah. But then I have exes that, we're really good friends, and, it's strictly that at this point. So that's kind of how I feel.
So there are some exes do need to remain in the past, but it's not to say that that's not the rule.
That's not
the rule. Okay, I see. Talk to me.
I feel like it really just depends on how it ended.
Ooh.
So I feel like if it ended like really traumatically, like that person doesn't need to be a part of your life anymore. But I feel like if it was like on mutual grounds and you guys like were adults about the whole thing, I mean, I don't think you guys should be like best friends. But I feel like you guys can like sometimes just like still like talk and casually hang out. That's fine.
Okay, I see. You got a couple of exes as best friends. She's like, actually, I have a couple of friends. All right, talk to me, my girl.
I would say that I could definitely agree. I think that it's kind of hard for me to talk on this topic because I don't have I'm not a huge relationship person, so I'm not I don't jump to the next very quickly. I have a tendency to go a couple years without one. But usually when it comes to exes, I mean, I've had friends with benefits that I still love dearly. And we're really great friends, and he has a girlfriend right now.
Right.
We talk all the time. I actually know her personally.
Right.
So it's cool because you can have that relationship as long as you're adults with it.
Right.
And you respect those boundaries. Like if you're a person that just kind of pushes your way in there and you're disrespectful with those boundaries, that's where you need to know yourself to cut off that relationship, friendship, whatever it is, because you should know like you're not the only one to blame. They know what you're doing as well, and so they should have that respect for their relationship. And you should also have the same thing. So I think it really depends on the personality of the relationship.
You got to preach.
It really depends on the person.
It does. And then that's the fact that you were saying, like, you got to check your own self. Like,
Yeah.
if y'all are friends, then make sure that that's what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And if it puts that boundary, you need to be adult enough to be like, listen, I'm not comfortable with this conversation. Or hey, stop sitting to your ass. Or something. You know what I mean? Like, you I mean, it looks nice, but like, I'm gonna have to block you real quick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it really depends on those boundaries, but check yourself as well as the other individual and be that adult and have that conversation. So respect.
All right. Talk to me, sir.
All right, so I agree with Tana. Definitely depends how it ended. And I think, me personally, I need complete silence for the recovery initially. If you talk down the road and you make amends, that's okay. But I need to keep out of sight, out of mind, because I'll go crazy, and throughout the day, periodically, it'll just come up on my mind. You know, I'll be all messed up, and then other times I'm fine. I don't think about it. So to help the healing process, just for me personally, I get them out of my mind for a couple months, and then if we talk, we talk. But at least I've healed. At least I give myself some time, and you know that's what I need personally. So you can be friends, but initially,
Cut it off.
But you said it right.
Yeah.
He's like me personally, and
Right.
he
It's
knows
not everybody.
himself well enough to like really understand how he is, what he does, what he needs to recover. And if he knows himself enough to be that way, he knows his boundaries, right? And so he's like, hey, I can't talk to you in order to help like happily recover from what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That should be hurting too. If I just broke up with somebody and you're like, no, I need my time away.
Yeah.
We broke up.
Right.
Are we really broken up? Is that like, what you mean you need time away?
I don't want to see your face looking on that.
All right, talk to
So-
me, friend.
I gotta agree with Marcus and Savannah. I mean, it depends on how it ended, but you know, at that initial start, you just gotta like, depending on how long you were together, depending on what happened in the relationship, how it ended, all that stuff. I mean,
Right.
initially, it's like, all right, cool. Well, like, cause me, I've had some things like to where we lived together and we broke up and we lived together still for like another month. Cause you know, we were trying to make it work. Like, I sit on the couch.
Right.
But like, it's, oh no, we were adults about it, you know, we know that I still care for her, she still cares for me, but it's not like we're gonna be like that no more. So I mean, it was a little weird at first, but you know, I mean, I'm friends with a lot of my exes, and I have a lot that I'm not, so but,
It goes both ways.
yeah, it goes
sure.
both ways. But,
Yeah. So let me ask you this: when y'all were in that interim stage where y'all had broken up, y'all still living together, but it was like fresh. Did y'all have some relationship moments?
Shut down straight.
How do you not?
I mean, you're so comfortable with the person, y'all both sad because y'all make each other sad. You know?
Facts.
So I mean, stuff happens.
For sure.
We came here to spit facts.
I mean, you just gotta be adults enough to be like, all right, it is what it is. If it is that, then we gonna work towards it. If not, then that's it.
Right.
What was the question again? I
Uh,
just want to hear how it feels like worded.
Got you. Do you feel like exes should remain in the past?
Like, me personally, like,
Yeah.
my own exes, yes, them. They should already. But like honestly, like I do feel like yeah, like it like depends on like how it ended. I've never had a good breakup. Like, you know, they've all been like bad, so it's like yeah, they can all stay in the past as far as I'm concerned.
Damn. Zing, bazinga.
I don't like the breakups. I've never had a good one.
Talk to me, lady girl.
So I feel like everything everybody said is completely valid. I think it's not like a black and white situation. There's so many different things that kind of contribute to how everything goes and how everything ends. It's kind of funny that I'm actually in the middle of like this question, I guess, because I had an ex and we were together for a long time and we lived together. And when we broke up, I think I was so completely done with the relationship. But he wasn't necessarily, and I'm like a friendly person, like all of you know me. I'm still like, hey, like I care about you, I still want you in my life in some capacity. So I think
on his side, it was more like Marcus, like don't talk to me type of thing.
Right.
And I would
It
still,
hurt, don't it?
yeah, no, but like I feel kind of bad now because I think I overstepped those boundaries because I would still send like, literally just happened like the other day out of nowhere, I sent like a funny video I saw of like a show we used to watch, and he literally was like, "You're the devil, go away." And I was like, and I said, I was like, "I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to, you know, hurt your feelings or, you know." And then he sent like a long message later on, like, "Hey, sorry, like I didn't mean to be like that. I know you're just trying to be friendly and you have good intentions, but no matter how over you I think I am, I'm not. And it's just hard for me to, you know, continue that." So I had to like completely, you know, obviously that's not working for us. I want to be friends, but at that point, like he's not. And I literally, my cousin just texted me. She was like, "Hey, you have a package from him," because I get my mail sent there. And I went, and it was just like a bunch of old shit that like I had at his house. And so I think he's just
trying
like,
to cut you off.
It doesn't hurt me. Like I wish him well and everything, but it really just depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the relationship. I don't know like how close you could be with an ex. Like I don't know if I'd be like a best friend with an ex. I think it always kind of goes into that. Well, we've had past. Like let's just have sex as friends. Like you know what I mean? And it's like because I have exes that still like will try to be friends, and they're like, "Let me see your vagina," and I'm like, you know. Friendship consisted of that. Okay. Alright. No, seriously, but it really just depends. I mean, there's so many different scenarios and situations. So.
For sure. Talk to me about that.
All right. I would say yes and no.
Okay.
Keeping them in the past. I mean, I look at my situation, and as everybody has said, you know, it's dependent on that situation. Can you be adults? Can you take accountability when you're in the wrong? I come from a lot of my situations where I have more friends with benefits than I do actual exes. I don't really date anybody. We don't really get to that point. We kind of know what we want, and we, you know, leave it in the room. And after that, you know, we go on.
Nicely done, sir.
Separate ways, you know. She's
But
on
he's
her way, I'm on my way.
also a respectable man.
In my mind.
No, and like I said, I look at it like I was raised in a way that like women are important. So if without women, how are men supposed to grow? You know, real talk. How are men supposed to grow?
Right.
But I mean, I have exes, and they might not be as like big, like as everybody else. Like with years of relationships and how bad the breakups are, you know, I have maybe 2 months, 3 months of like actual relationship experience. But you know, it feels the same way. Like I learned a lot when I was with them, when I was in high school, and right into college, and kind of seeing like how, okay, this is what I should do for her, and then this is what she didn't like, so let me not do that. And when it just fell apart, it was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it got to that point, but I need to figure out what I need to do to improve myself. Because regardless, it's about, you know, coming together, working on yourself, being better, because that's the only way you're going to be able to find that relationship. So going through exes, having them in your past is going to be able to help you find the one that you want, you know, in the future.
You gotta have a learning, you know, that stepping stone to figure out exactly. Those situations in the past are always just something that, for one, it teaches you as well as, you know, like what you don't want, what you do want, what you don't want. Do y'all believe that there is a merit in second chances? You like, what about third and fourth chances too?
That's a hard one.
I mean, so I'll speak a little bit.
Talk to me.
So I recently had a breakup in September, and it was because of cheating. And I was with this girl for 5 years. We lived together. We moved across the country together from Philly to Colorado.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was like marriage, you know, like go to the next steps. But I mean, right as I found out, right as like I kind of came to grips that I was gonna go to that next step, all that shit blew up in my face. So, and then similar to Austin, right? So I was living with this girl. I have to move out all my shit, and like that is so painful. But I've talked to her after this, and that second chance, I can't fuck with that. Like, I can't, because
infidelity is always gonna be the back.
like, yeah, I'll never be able to trust her, even if I try to date her seriously and devote myself and put all this time. Like, if she goes out with her friends again, like, and comes home at 3 a.m, my fucking head is gonna be like all over the place. So yeah, like I gotta just move on past that.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. But I figured it's all fresh in my head.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you think that, because I know that a lot of people are like, hey, I've been cheated on, like, hey, I have trust issues, like, these things, and like me, it's hard for me to relate sex, I've never been cheated on. And so with that being said, like, I think it's a good question to ask you is like, I know you're saying that you can't trust her, but what if you have quote unquote trust issues and you get in a new relationship, how are you going to communicate that?
And that's going to be a problem I
How are
have
you
going
gonna cope
forward.
with that,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Because now when I date, now when I invest in myself again, and I feel like, you know, I'm 34, so it's like I thought my life was kind of put together already, and now it's all up in the air. I don't have kids, I'm not married, like I might as well buy my own fucking house now. Like, yeah, it's really hard to answer. I'll have issues going forward. For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're gonna go into your next relationship with a chip on your shoulder?
Well, at least I know what I want and know how I want someone to complement my lifestyle. You know, because I've spent so much time investing in somebody that I know what I want out of a relationship these days now.
Which I think like a lot of women too, like, or just us in general, I don't even want to say women, but I just obviously I hear it from women because they're my close friends. But I feel like I hear a lot of like, oh, like they have trust issues, they're insecure, like da 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 da, which things like that I feel like you really have to communicate in the beginning of a relationship, like, hey, just so you know, like, I have trust issues, or I've had this experience in the past. Like, just please communicate these things with me. Like, I don't have to be clingy. I don't need to know that you're gonna go take a shit. Like, that's not.
Yeah, I don't need
that,
you
but,
to
like,
check in, right?
Please just like, be like, hey, I'm gonna go out with my girls. I'll be back around 3. If you're not, text me. Say that you're gonna be later. Like, and communicate those things. Like, do you think that you would be comfortable with having that conversation?
Yeah, I'd definitely be open to it. Because I don't need someone to check in with me. I'm not going to be like...
Right, you're not going to be like obsessed with it.
But as long as that is, I don't know, agreed upon, established at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to be realistic of yourself and put that on his plate, and that's just being in a relationship. Right? Being in a relationship is putting your heart on the plate and letting them know who you are. And if they don't know who you are and that you've been cheated on in the past, I'm going to go out till 4 a.m. and what if my phone dies and I'm not like, oh shit, like, hey, can I use your phone quick? I got to call real quick and I'll be late.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that. I'm going to show up at 5 and be like, what the fuck? And then we're going to be fighting because we don't have that expectation.
But the best part of the relationship when I was in it though was not having to worry at all about trust. Like you go out all night and you party, you do you come back, like I'll never question you for a second. But then when the wrong, when I get cheated on, then I have doubts. But initially, I gotta give somebody the benefit of the doubt. I can't have that wall up. And, I mean, COVID's lonely as fuck, so I'm trying to date. I want to meet somebody. I don't want to have this wall up all the time. But
You like it?
I want to speak on this real quick.
All right,
I would say that second chances. I don't know. Like I just feel like once you've established that the relationship is over, it's over. Like I feel like once you try to get back into that, I mean, obviously there's a thing for everything. You know what I mean? There's so many different possibilities in those scenarios, but for me personally, like I don't know if I believe in that, just because once I'm done, I feel like I'm just like mentally done. I don't know if I could bring myself back. And also I think it's good to realize like there's so many people in the world, and I think I forget that sometimes, and it's like I think I'm like, oh, I've connected with this person, and it's the only person that I'll ever connect with again. Oh my god, like, and I'm just like completely heartbroken over it, and then I think out of comfortability that I have to go back to that because that's the only person that's gonna like me, or
that's what you know.
Or what I know, and the only person that's gonna love me the way I want, or whatever. But really, there's so many people, and so many people that are willing to give you what you want, as long as you're confident enough to, ask and whatever. So I don't know, second chances for me.
Also, a big part of that,
friendship,
right?
Right.
A big part of that is friendship. It's like being like today. Don't go back to that mother. You know what I mean?
Guidance.
Well, like into that, like so, like everybody has like exes, but like everybody's got like the ex.
Oh yeah, the
like,
ex.
There's like the ex. But like
That face. That face says it all.
She's making it personal.
That's terrible.
But we ended up being engaged, like just a whole bunch of shit. It was a it's like you figure out like the relationship was shit after you're out of the relationship.
Yeah.
And then you like look back on it and you're like, what the fuck? Like,
You don't have the rose-colored glasses on
like
anymore.
you're not in it anymore, but there's that person where like Shaylee was saying, like you think that's the only person like at the time once it's fresh, like that's ever gonna love you again. And you have so much of like your time and your self-esteem like wrapped up into this person. So he like clockwork every like couple of months
I know what it is.
would like call me, and then he would call me, and then he'd be like, yo, I fucked up, like we need to make this work. Like
You're not moving on, right?
we got skin in the game.
Just talking about this.
Yes, you know what? Like fucked up in that. I'm like, you're right. And then like habitually, I would like he would get me to like he would get my buy-in again every time, because every time he'd come back, I'd be like, no, fuck you, and then he'd like weasel his way in. He's like, we should try to make this work, and then I'd be like, you know what? Okay, like we can try this. Ghost me. Three times this happened. We did this 3 times. Before I was like,
You would hit one.
I was like, I gotta stop answering your phone calls. Like I don't know why he wasn't answering.
But that's that boundary, right? You know what's
And that's
gonna happen.
hard.
You need to block that number and
Right.
set that boundary.
That's so hard.
Because
It's so easy said, especially with your friends. Like it's so easier said than done. Like I could be like, Marcus, don't ever talk to her again. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like whatever. Lexi tells me all the time, are you fucking stupid? Like don't go hang out with him. Like he's literally just using you, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I don't feel like that's like my reality. Like I don't feel like that's the truth.
Like being typical, like you don't know him.
Yeah, like you don't know him. Even though like it's so obviously true and I know it deep down, but it's so easier, like much easier said than done. Like if that was happening to me, I would have done the same thing as Nam. I'm also somebody that's very me and Snare are the same, very passive, and
But also,
people walk all over us. You know,
when that's your companion, they know how to get to you. When that's your companion, they know you. They're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like they've been in a relationship with you before. They know how to persuade you. They know how to talk to you, and that's just all like manipulation.
Right.
And I think we've all, hopefully not, but have been through that before. And I went through 6 months of fucking hell with this man, and like I no longer had a relationship with my mom, my family, my friends. Like I cut off everybody. Like this guy, I hate to get emotional about it, but he fucking sucks. He sucks. Like it was so bad. He was like fucking horrible, but you know, and that's the thing is like the first time I've ever been like in this abusive like relationship, it took me 6 months to get out of it. Thank God. Like I prayed to God I didn't have a kid with this man, married this man. You know what I mean? Like I prayed every day. Like I didn't take it seriously with this man, but like it takes yourself. Like you could tell me till I'm blue in my fucking face to leave this guy.
right,
Only I know and I want to.
right,
You know what I mean? And so like when you're done, we're done.
right.
And that's what we were talking about, because I was like, listen, I'm gonna tell you again till you're blue in the face, fuck that dude.
Right.
But until you say fuck that dude,
Yeah.
all I can do is be your friend.
There's
And that's the thing is like, that's also what's so important is she can annoy the fuck out of me and tell me 10, 20, 50,000 times, like I'm going over to this guy's or I'm gonna go see him. Okay, well I'm gonna tell you again, but guess what? I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like you really have to pull yourself out of that situation, because I lost so many friends. Like I lost so many friends, and then that's where it gets so scary, because you feel like you have nobody.
Right.
So you run back to the motherfucker.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Because you
That's
feel
your
like you
only
have
support,
nobody but
yeah.
that person.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. I don't care what any of you do. I'm always here for you. And
Right,
that's what
for
you need
sure.
to know
Right.
and have in order to pull yourself out of something like that.
For
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a serious thing. So just be there for your friends.
Yeah.
Be there for your
So
friends.
I do have a question though, because we kind of talked about this last time too. We were saying that basically we think that women the relationship is better when the man wants the woman more than the woman wants the guy. And that is because look at that! But wait, this is why we say this though, is because you hear all of these conversations where these women are like, but I stayed. I fought for it. I thought it was gonna get better. I thought that, you know, y'all can tell me any, we gotta come back. Hold on. Like, you can tell women so much to say you need to get out of that relationship, but we make so many freaking excuses in our mind to make it work. But I do want to hear, like, on the guy's side. He already got the remote, so I'm gonna come right over.
Come on, Austin.
What you just said right there, it's like, it just like hit it home, honestly. So
Ooh.
So I was like dead ass in love with this girl since I was yay high.
Okay.
Grew up with her, whatever, like that, everything. I loved her more than she ever loved me. I guarantee that.
Okay.
You know, but it was always good because of what you just said. Oh, I made up these excuses. I made up like why I should stay, why he's better, you know, all this stuff. But it never was relayed, never was put into action. All that stuff was in your mind. You know, and I think I'm doing my part.
Ooh.
I think I'm loving you as much as I can. You know, I'm showing you the way that I love for what I think is okay. You know,
Right.
like if you like, let's say we're together and you're like, oh, you don't show me you love me. Like, what are you talking about? I just did this to you, this. I think I'm doing good.
Right.
Where was any of this like talk, conversation, anything like that from what you were doing? You know, it's just.
You just don't believe what I just said.
Yeah, I don't.
It's all about experience. The person.
Please don't.
Yeah.
The person.
And
I have a quick question for
I was
Austin.
gonna say,
Can I ask him something real quick?
Yeah.
Did you ever have the conversation of like,
That's what I was about to say.
I thought
you know what I'm
everything was
saying?
cool.
But you know what though? The
Thought
thing
it was
is on her. I want to put the blame on anybody because it's a relationship. But like, if you don't feel that's being reciprocated, you're like, I feel some distance. Like,
But
did you
that
bring that
was
to attention?
But that was the thing though, because I loved her so much, I was okay with her not telling me she loved me every day.
Oh.
I was okay with her not really giving everything that I gave to her, you know, me taking her out on these dates and not really doing much for me.
Right.
It was like, it was okay for me to do that because I was like, alright, it's cool. She doesn't do that. I understood that. Or
Right.
but
That's just
it
her.
wasn't, yeah, it was just her, you know, she doesn't love me the way, or like, not love me the way I love me, but doesn't
love
show
like-
me.
yeah, she loves you.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I could add on to that too. I mean, I'm looking at a situation I have where I've been trying to take a relationship with this woman. I don't want to speak on it too much because it's kind of crazy right now.
She's probably watching.
I hope not, but if she is, I mean, so be it. But you know, I look at that same way. I feel like, and it's been reciprocated because we've talked about this. This is the one thing we've talked about. We said communication is so important to us. We established that from the beginning. When she feels some type of way, she wants to let me know. I say absolutely, 100%. Let me hear you and let me tell you what I can do better in that situation so you don't feel that way. But I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care what she does. Wouldn't care, you know, what she's doing. Just having her with me was good enough. You know, she would come over and we'd go to the mall. And, you know, we'd go on these dates and she'd just be on the phone, just on the phone, not really trying to talk to me, have a conversation. And all I can do is just sit there and admire what I like.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell her, hey, you know, show me attention. I want that attention. I want you to
because when
be equal with you.
you don't want to say that because you're good with just being.
I'm good with
be
just
on your phone.
Yeah,
Cool. I'm
and
with you,
and
it's all good.
And my thing is like that's how much I care. That's how much I love you. Like I don't really need you to do anything but to just be you and be there.
See,
you don't
but
have
then,
to do anything
but
like
then when you don't say something, that's where y'all girls are like. That's when you're like, oh, they don't do this for me. They don't do that for me.
Hell yeah, I'm over here like, tell me to get the fuck off the phone. Like,
Well,
that shows me that you really want to. That's true.
Y'all know you shouldn't get on the phone, right?
I'm not the. I think it's
But
pretty.
you y'all.
What I'm saying is communicate it to each
Y'all want
other.
me to tell you to get off the phone when y'all know you're on the phone.
No, and I'm saying it's been
but wait.
communicated between us.
Right.
It's not like I haven't just like not expressed that I need to be the man she wants me to be. This has already been communicated. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I know in my heart that I don't need you to do anything else but to just be there. That's how much the love is. But like, if I'm there and I'm just, you know, being there, like then there's nothing there. Like you're just like, well, this dude's boring. I can't deal with this. I'm gonna just go back to doing whatever I'm doing. Not
Okay,
worried
give
about
me
it.
1 second. Would you want somebody to tell you to like boss if they were doing something they didn't like? Would you want them to boss up on you and be like,
Like I don't want to be just sitting there on my phone and you're wanting attention. Tell me you want attention.
Alright.
Oh, let me put my shit up.
Yeah.
okay? Would you want somebody to boss up on you?
Yeah, just open your mouth. Like,
Well, we good with this.
Hold on, wait. Would you want somebody to boss up on you?
I think absolutely. Like I think, you know, if you're just like, hey babe, like can you just put your phone down and enjoy the moment? Like be respectful about it.
Would you want somebody?
Stop it.
Listen, I I'm just telling you that women absolutely like it's a consensus.
But what if
I don't think
what
so.
if we're cool with just having you being on the phone? You want to
So
just
then
be
you're
there?
Oh, now I'm lying.
But no, you can't be like, I'm cool with you being on your phone, and
Yeah,
then like, bring it back like 3 weeks later.
I
You're like,
agree.
you're on the
That's true.
I'm just saying.
It's not
You're bringing it back,
We
though.
talked
That's the
about
thing.
it. Like I said, I wasn't upset with her. I didn't tell her it was a bad thing. She just said the same thing that you all literally just said. Why didn't you tell me to get on the
Why
phone?
didn't you tell
And I
me
said,
to-
understandable. You know what? As a man and showing that I do care for you, then yes, I'll
I
take
get that
that
though. I get the
initiative.
guy's side.
But I was just fine.
If I
I
don't
was
know,
just fine.
if you're, I feel like if you have, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna be on my phone.
Even when I'm talking to my friends, I feel like it's just a rude thing anyway to just be like, yeah, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
fine.
not nice. And I feel like if you're into somebody or you just have at least some respect for somebody, you should just not be on your phone like completely the entire time. I mean, if it's like, you know, a couple minutes, you're looking at something, then like, hey, can you get off your phone? It comes from both sides. It's not just men and it's not just women. There should be some mutual respect.
I'm coming to you, Marcus.
Sorry,
I'm gonna just say one thing.
No,
I'm gonna say one thing. Shaylee said one important thing.
Sure.
If she's into you, then
Yes!
you get off the phone. But
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely,
right.
absolutely. I agree with that. I think, you know, when someone makes you so happy and you're very comfortable with them, I think complacency is very dangerous.
Yeah.
It's very, and I've fallen victim to this, where like the day-to-day feels great and you guys are on the same level, but then maybe you don't communicate as much. Maybe I don't tell her I don't love her as much, and then like that'll creep up and, you know, like it'll cause problems down the line for sure.
Absolutely.
And just I don't know, like when I think back of how many times I could have maybe said more, communicated that maybe that's fucked up, you know, but I wanted to avoid a confrontation. That those fine lines, you know, like it was all wrapped up in my complacency and I was comfortable. I love this girl, you know, things are going great, but I don't want to rock the boat too much, and maybe that's the fault, you know. So it's dangerous. Like you get in that swing of things, and then
It's like not
maybe I ignore those little details. Maybe you're on your phone, and I just, you know, it's pissing me off, but I don't want to start a fight at dinner right now. You know?
I want
like,
somebody to
Yeah.
rock the boat.
Sure.
I need you to rock the boat. I need you to communicate your feelings. I need to hear
Sure.
that. Like, if you're not giving me
All right,
that
hold on,
communication,
Well, yeah.
like,
Give me one second.
if you're not communicating with me and you're getting complacent, like it's not gonna work.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
rock the boat. Tell me what you don't
Sure.
like. Tell me what's not working. And then here I am. Okay, well this is how I can fix it.
Right.
I'm sorry for this. Like you have to communicate that. And if you
Yeah,
don't,
absolutely.
then it just won't work.
Right. And it makes for great makeup
Yeah.
sex. What are you talking about?
Like,
Also,
it's
lessons learned.
like I would say like me, I'm the kind of person like I'm like pretty outspoken about things that like bother me because like I just don't give a fuck. Like
He doesn't. That's true.
Like if you're bothering me, I'm gonna fucking tell you.
Uh-huh.
So like and it's like I try to like avoid like, but like I'm trying to like learn now to like just like keep on communicating. Like even if it feels like it'll be awkward, just say it. Like then like if it ends up being wrong, then you can always apologize. But it's like
At least
if
you
you
know.
feel this way, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like give us like confirm what you're feeling is either right or like wrong. So
Yeah.
Can I just say
Well, I
that
always do that.
that's just one thing that I really admire about Dorian is he's very good at setting his own boundaries and communicating things. Like even like it's true. Like I feel like he's grown so much to where like even with his friends, like if he doesn't want to do something, if he feels uncomfortable, if he doesn't like something, you know, he'll tell you, and it's never like in a mean way or
Right.
anything.
I'm just being
It's
like,
always
chill,
just
like,
like in a respectful
I'm not
like, hey, I'm just not fucking with it. And like I like for me that's it's something that I always struggled with, like in
Yeah, it's like-
relationships, anything, you know.
Shaylee trying to put on for Dorian.
I've even been on like first dates.
He's great.
It's great. He's a great guy. I agree.
But like I've even been on like first dates, but like the girl was like on her phone so much. Like then I was like, yo, is everything good? Like,
Well, that's
going on
me.
right now?
That sucks.
Like,
That's not the
but
first
like,
date.
like,
no.
and then, like,
Like, yeah. Everything's I'm just tweeting about how fucking awful you are.
Right. What's going on here? But like, I'm always gonna be vocal. Like, if I'm like not feeling comfortable or like not feeling bothered, I'm gonna say something. But I can't speak to being in like a long-term relationship where you are complacent. I've never been there. I never got that far. But I know me how I am now. I'm gonna try to maintain this. So I'm hoping that if I ever end up in that situation,
Right.
I don't make that mistake. You know.
And that's
Yeah.
you going, right?
I think the problem was I kept I had brought it up a bunch of times and we've already conflicted about it, that I was like, maybe I shouldn't broach that subject again. And that's where I fucked up and I should have kept communicating. But I was like, let me avoid it. Yeah, but I learned it. It's a lesson for sure.
When like also your companion is not, you know, respectful of that, and it's like, listen, like, babe, if I'm bothering you, like, you need to tell me, and like, please let me know. And if I'm like, that's fucked up, like, really, like, you fucking bring this shit up again, like, then that's a problem. Like, then that is not the female for you. You know what I mean? And like, if you brought this up so many times, they're still not changing, they're still not growing in that relationship. Like, a relationship, you're not supposed to just be fucking perfect and then you're together. That's not how it works. You work on yourself, you build each other, you build an empire together with being two individual people. You're still completely different. And like, I feel like that's the thing that, especially a lot of like younger generations are, is like, they're so reliant on relationships. Like, oh, I'm so in love with this man, or I'm gonna do anything to please them. Like, no, you're still allowed to go out with your girls and get your nails done. You're still allowed to go out and play pool with the boys. Like, and you're still allowed to be yourselves as long as you're growing and growing each other. And that's so important. Like, live and learn with each other. You don't have to be perfect.
I think that's something that you have.
Yeah, on that, you have to have something besides the other person that makes you happy.
And you found it, but that's the thing, you found that.
Music and everything, but then my
she
ex didn't have anything besides me to make her happy. So if I'm out of the house, I'm fucking making music, I'm doing stuff. She's mad at me for being out. I'm like, go do something. You know, like, it's rough.
But honestly, that was such a blessing. Like, that set you up to be okay after the relationship. You already had that foundation of, I had my friends, I had my arcade, I had my music.
I didn't lose all of that.
You gained more, you know?
All my friends.
Right. She lost everything. And then again, if she doesn't learn that, she's gonna go through the same pattern of where I've done that before, where I'm completely relying on somebody for my happiness. So if their mood's fucked up, my mood's fucked up. If they're out doing something, like, I want to tackle, and you know, it is completely unhealthy. Like, that is such a huge maturity.
I feel like it always sounded shitty, because like, my mom, she calls me picky, whatever. Anyways, but I always tell her, like, listen, like, the individual and the male that I date needs to understand that dating them is a choice. And that I'm independent on my own, and like, it's not a bad thing to be independent. Any of us.
I think independent's sexy. That's
like,
good stuff.
I'm extremely independent.
Well, you don't need me to buy you food.
We're talking about it. Go to the drive-thru, hit him with the. Can we get 2 separate orders?
Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Alright, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get into these comments real quick. Alright, one of my sisters said yes. We had a whole conversation, so I'm not the most sure what she said yes to. But Courtney, get back in here. Let me know what she was talking about. My other friend said communication and comprehension is key. Absolutely. And I think that that's something that we kind of learn as we're growing older, because our younger selves have a very big problem of not wanting to confront people. You know, confrontation always has that little scary. Yeah, it's like, how do I approach this? And that's when we're younger.
Even with anybody.
Yeah, true. And some people don't even get over that. That's the crazy part.
I started dating when I was like 16. I'm 26 now, and it's just taken me to like 2 or 3 years ago to realize like fighting is healthy.
Yes.
Like, it's not like, well, it depends on what you're fighting about.
Right.
But like, you need to have, like, it's not like everybody's like, we don't fight. I'm like, that's not cute.
There's a balance, you know?
Yeah.
Right. You better, because it's not like, yeah, we fight every day, but like, we're fine. You know?
Honestly, I can hang out with my boys for like a month and they'll start getting on my fucking nerves. Like, my girlfriend. You know, like, anyone you're with can find all the times you're gonna have conflict, you're gonna argue and bicker about little shit. It's how you communicate and get over it, and like, that's it.
Yeah, you have to have that
conversation
to move forward.
And if you spend too much time with anybody, they're fucking annoying.
Yeah, I feel like confrontation brings out truth.
Absolutely.
It forces you to get
it's
out of your
uncomfortable,
comfort
but
zone, and it forces you to communicate, because a lot of times you're like, yeah, I communicate. And you're like, bullshit.
Right.
Because you know you're pissed that he left that burger on the counter and didn't clean his plate. Just kidding.
Right.
Like, clean your plate. Just kidding.
Right.
Like, no, but really though, like, it builds up, and then you like force you out of that comfort zone to get upset. And obviously, you know, as you get older, you start to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna talk to him. I'm just gonna tell him like what's up. Like, I'm not trying to argue. Like, but also perspective.
Yeah,
it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you can communicate, but if you don't listen and understand, you're not listening.
And it's like one of the main things that like I learned in engagement therapy, like it was like basically saying that like you have to have an outlet. Like you can't let things build up. Like if there's like anything bothering you that like they're doing, fucking tell them like, hey, I like that because like otherwise it'll like stay in you, and then the next thing happens, and then like it's like smaller things like piss you off more, and then you just blow up, and then like they're like, what is this? Because you never said it once before.
Like, you remember last month when you left for 2 months?
Say nothing about it.
I found hair in the shower. It's like,
You remember last year when you did it?
12 months of like pent up rage.
And we were talking afternoon on Tuesday. We didn't clean the forks. The fork was dirty.
Literally.
It was like, that was only 2 of them.
But I also think like realizing like that being passive aggressive isn't the same thing as like communicating.
Yes. Go wait. Say it one time for the people in the back,
Like
please.
being passive aggressive is not the same thing as communicating.
Yes.
Think about the internet right now. Like, think about everyone debating online about all the dumb shit. Passive aggressive is like you touched it.
Like you just have to say it. Like sometimes,
Just
like
say
saying
it
like,
on your mind.
I don't understand why you just can't put your plate in this thing. Like no, stop. Like just
Right.
say it.
Goddamn-
Give me the eye roll emoji, right?
She's working on her. I was like, and I could say it from like first-hand experience because I'm passive aggressive as shit and I'm working. It's
For real.
What is that?
they're roommates.
You have
by the
HR.
way. Yeah, they're roommates. That's why she's real passive aggressive.
When it's important.
Yeah, so funny.
Dishes and
In the comments, they said communication and compromise.
Like, you really want to take another shot? Yeah.
oh yeah.
Alright, let me see. So, can men and women, it's not though, thank you. Can men and, it's beautiful actually, thanks. Can men and women be friends but platonically? We're gonna come and start here.
Platonically?
Ooh.
I say yes.
Let's talk about us.
I was just
Me and Dee have been friends for a long time.
I met her my junior year.
Yeah, junior high school, and I was like 9th grade, 8th grade, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a long
But
time.
I mean, like, even then, like, when she came up, like, her approach, like, she was just this kind of, like, dorky cheerleader girl, and she was like, hi, my name is Shaylee, like, with her braces, and I was like, yo, like, you jumping around and shit. And she was just like, yeah, you know, you guys want to hang out, like, we're going to be over down. I'm like, all right, man. I'm going to hang out. All right.
Be like
Oh, quirky ass, I'm with it.
Oh, quirky ass. One of my phone is oh, quirky
But like, you know, all jokes aside, when I met her that day, I was like, yo, she's cool as hell. Like, y'all don't know who Shaylee is? They're like, no. That's like, she's a cheerleader on the team. They were like,
I was
oh.
so young.
And I was like, oh, well, okay. Well, you know, if you guys want to come, she's gonna hang out with us. We're gonna go check out her school. And they're like, all right, but no one else would come with me. So I just rode through with her.
Right.
And for those like what 6, 7 years of all the stuff we did, the cruises, the drives.
We did it, yeah, we did a lot. We were really close. Like, even my mom, she lives in another state, but I told her, I was like, yeah, Dee's gonna come. She's like, Devontae, she's like, can you FaceTime me later so I can say hi? So I was like, Dee, my mom, I'm gonna FaceTime her later so you can say hi to her. But,
Yeah,
I mean, he was close to my dad, like, you know, like one of the only people before my dad passed away that's really special to me.
Yeah, and I would, even then when I like came into their home, like, hey, just like some, you know, random dude, just like, oh, hi, my name's Devontae. Open arms. Say, well, come on, we're drinking and we're playing music downstairs.
Yep.
You know how to play an instrument? No.
My
No,
dad-
sir. Well, come on, I'm a teacher.
But yeah, I mean, I think like completely, we've always had a platonic like friendship. and
Absolutely.
Always.
I think that there are two yeses in there. Yes, they can, and men and women can definitely be friends with no sex. That's what platonic is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, but I'm gonna take it back a little bit because you didn't say yes off top.
Well, I said, the reason I was saying that is because also in the sense, like, you know, I have Shay is a very good best friend to me. I have another best friend named Selena, and I've been friends with her for 10 years. She's crazy. She's an awesome woman. And it's like, you know, even then, I had other outlets tell me this. Not me myself, because I know where I stand with my friendships. Like, it's strictly platonic and I love them no matter what on that level. But other outlets of not just men, but women that'll say, well, you know, have you tried? Have you asked them if you want a friend?
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about that type of relationship? And it's like, you know, you don't know. And the thing that I know is like with my best friend Selena, when we had this conversation, she said, yeah, I liked you in high school. And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, you know, would you date me now? Hell no. Hell no. And it's like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. And it's like, well, you know, I didn't like you in high school, but I liked you a little bit now. And she's like, well, yeah, but like, you know where we stand. And it's like, I do. I've accepted that. And that's the role I'm going to continue to play. I don't have to branch out and see those options, those experiences, because I know where I stand with my best friend. So that's why it was because other people will give you that type of
their input starts putting shit in your mind, and you're like, well, maybe I should.
Right.
But I don't know.
I was gonna say, like to that, like it's like again, it's based on communication because like. It has to be agreed that both ends only wanted to be like platonic. Right. Because like once I was just hoping for like something to like a chance to happen.
Right.
Like
See, like I've had some issues.
And it's like
like while drunk. So
That's a whole other level.
I was still going though, cause like I've been in like situations like where like I had the idea that it was like platonic, and then the other person pushed boundaries to like out downtown like that. Well, no, they pushed boundaries first, but then it kept happening, and it was never like talked about.
Right.
Like over time, so that then I'm thinking like, do they like me? So then we were hanging out, and then it was different than like just being platonic because there was no communication, and then it ended up not being that like at all, and it like then like the entire like friendship like it was killed, and like me where I see it, it's like. Have we talked about these things after like they happened? Like this was like before I became more direct. Like also why I'm like now I'm like way more direct because of this like thing. Like it was never talked about. Like this stuff happened, and it was just like that was a cool night like downtown. Yeah. It was never talked about. So, like over time goes by. Now I'm thinking like it isn't what I think it is, and then it's just miscommunication, you know?
Right. So for me, I'm gonna come.
She like look at me. I gotta say my piece. I already know I got the answer.
I think it's cool and everything like that. I think it can happen. Cause I mean, there's been I have one of my best friends. Like we made out, we like done whatever. Like we never had sex, nothing like that. But like there's someone like you know we've kissed, we've done whatever. You know, we're always like there for each other. Like we sleep in the same bed sometimes. So she's drunk. All right, come here, come do it, come fucking tell me real quick. Hold up. You know, it ain't nothing like that. You know, we wake up in the morning, make breakfast, chill, whatever. All right, cool. You're leaving. See you later. You know, it's like what it's. There's always a boundary of. I don't think there's wait, hold on. I don't think there's ever really a boundary, but it's how far you guys are willing to push the friendship. Because I feel like, because I've had friends like we just hook up and then be like, all right, cool, see you later. You know, it's not really type of friends of benefit or anything like that because like we're just friends. You know, it's like friends kiss, you know. Sometimes friends hook up. You know, but it's like, it's just like,
that's not quite.
And but at the same time, like there is like a relationship like that where he's like, all right, yeah, we're cool, we did that. It's gonna happen again, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, no, it ain't gonna be awkward, but like it's cool. You know?
But then you have your platonic friends too, you know, that are strictly like.
But then you have both, so like I feel like because I mean, you can take a look at everybody in this room right now. Like, we've all slept in the same bed. Ain't nobody ever tried nothing with anything, you know.
All right, so funny we touched upon this topic because you know I went through that crazy breakup, right?
Right.
And then Dorian was really instrumental in getting me to go back out, you know, like hit the bars, whatever. I've met so many people from fucking hang out with them. I got to spend a cabin for her birthday, met all these people. They're all super nice.
Right.
They're all attractive, right? So, but they're really good people, and you know, like if it's established that you know you guys are really good friends, and you're not gonna take it to like the next step, then it's fine. I'd rather have close inner circle now that I'm old as fuck.
Right.
Not then have like, you know, like
You're 30 and thriving.
34.
30 and thriving.
The way I look at it, when you're in your 30s, you're just in your 20s, you just make better decisions.
Facts. And you're
But life's way better. Like,
looks like he's 22, so I'm even more
Facts.
excited.
yeah, but those grades will come final shape.
I feel like
You're gonna age so well. This man is Puerto Rican all the way, like, he'll be fine. He's fine.
Lex, talk to me, my girl.
I think yes. I think big yes, and I think the reason why is because I've had, like, I hate to say that I'm not a big relationship person because I haven't been in one for like 5 years. It's been like forever.
Me too.
But it's for a reason.
6
And the
years.
thing is though is because like you kind of develop, you know, a type of standard. And it's okay to have standards. It's not a bad thing to not have standards. Like people can call you picky, but I'm sorry, but I need a man that has,
myself.
you know, like income. Like you need to match my grind in order for us to grow together. I can't like, and when we're in a relationship, like if you lose a job, I'm happy to get another one. But you need to be motivated to get another one and have goals and things like that. That's a whole other conversation. But I think when it comes to friends with benefits, again, I brought him up before, we're still great friends. And like I know his girlfriend, we respect those boundaries, like we're very respectful of each other. Like I would never like call him drunk, like, hey, where you at? You wanna hang out? Like that was like years ago. You know what I mean? Like that's when we were friends with benefits, not just stay the night whenever and we would just like have sex and do whatever. But also too, I think the coolest thing about that is not only do we respect each other and we're great friends, but we worked together. And so that's where it gets messy because you're like, oh, he's talking to another girl or da-da-da. We've never, like, I don't think people at our job actually knew that we were even friends. Like, when we were at work, we were like, strictly work. Like, we wouldn't talk to each other, we wouldn't flirt with each other, like, we would just talk to each other outside because us is us, work is work.
Girl,
Like, you're not gonna mess with my money.
You gotta scale this ass off.
Oh, fuck it.
You said scandalous
Yeah. It was at a restaurant, you know, like I was working, we were both working in the kitchen, so it's like a different environment. And like then he started dating a server, but it is what it is because if you communicate those boundaries, like you ain't mine, I can't get mad.
Right.
But if also though, if you're having sexual relationships with another individual, you need to have respect enough to tell me because if I'm having unprotected sex with you and you're having sex with someone else, that's me protecting myself. And so you just need to respect that boundary, but also too, I understand the male standpoint because some bitches are crazy.
Oh
my God.
Let's move on you and then be like,
So it's also hard because like you find that female and you're like, you know what, she's cool, I feel like I can talk her anything. And then you have another type of female, and we've all met that female where they have a hard time like being like clingy or that you establish that relationship and that boundary and then they're like, nah, fuck that. Like you're mine, but I'm not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And so that's where it's hard because I'm that type of female where I'm like, hey, I can't say nothing.
Yeah.
You ain't mine.
That's
same. You know what I mean? Same. And so it really depends on your personality again. So you just gotta be emotionally independent enough to not get that attached. Like it really depends on the person. Like, you know, you're independent enough emotionally. Have friends with benefits. Because if you know you don't catch feelings, you gotta back up. You can't do that because you're gonna hurt yourself in the end. Seriously.
Dumb. I would never.
So was it? Can men and like women have platonic friendships?
correct.
Oh.
This
Yes. Yes. I feel like because I have like male friends at work that like I'm strictly just friends with, but I feel like it depends on like how close are we? Like are we like at a best friend level? Then I feel like it really just takes a lot of boundaries, but I also feel like nobody like can say that they haven't like thought of it.
I think that's the same thing.
You know what I mean?
mean?
Like I feel like everybody like we can just be like okay, that's my bad example. But like I feel like it really just also depends on the person. So like if you're like to the point of close where you're like your best friends and everything, like of course it's gonna like cross your mind.
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna like entertain that idea. But like that's when like it's that gray area starts to get hazy. But I think to a certain extent, yes, men and women can just be friends.
Yeah.
But like, it just depends on like how close you are as friends.
I'll take that. Kitty, you've been waiting, girl.
I've been waiting this whole time. She got the best thing to say, and we just been taking all the time from her. Oh my god. She like,
So, I mean, I believe that I believe men and women can be friends. I have a friend who's been friends for 20 plus years. He's now married. However, when we're in a relationship, that always becomes really rocky for us because then we have to establish.
When you're in a relationship with
When
somebody
I'm in a relationship with somebody else and he's in a relationship with somebody else, it's all like, oh, you know, who's this girl? You know, why are you always on the phone with her? And so we have to set those boundaries with, you know, our girlfriends, boyfriends, and say, hey, you know, this is my friend. We've been friends for 20 plus years. They're not going anywhere. You know, whether you can like it or you can leave it. However, they'll always be there. And so, you know, my friend, his wife, she didn't like it because we talk on the phone all the time and we talk about everything. And when we get off the phone, it's like, all right, I love you, bye. You know, it's kind of like family. And so, like, I kind of learned to incorporate her in that. So when she's sitting there and we're on the phone, I was like, okay, I love y'all. You know, I won't just be like, I love you when, you know, I know she's there. So I'm like, you know, I love you. I want to make sure that, you know, she doesn't feel some type of way. You know, it's always like walking on eggshells when you're friends with, you know, the opposite sex. However, you know, we didn't set any boundaries. It just was what it was. You know, we knew what it was. We never expected anything else from that relationship. And, you know, I can talk to him about anything. He can talk to me about anything. But, you know, it's something that you have, when you're in a relationship with somebody else, you have to be like, hey, you know, this is my best friend. This has been what it's been for years. That's kind of what it's going to be, whether you like it or not. And so they kind of just have to accept it. You know, you can't like, oh, well, you know, we've been friends for 20-something years. My boyfriend don't like you. Let's just leave it. I can't waste that relationship. You know?
Exactly.
We've established too much to just throw it away for somebody who may or may not be there.
Yeah, I think like that's like a real danger to like people who like get in relationships like and cut off all their friends or like try to like ignore them. Like that's very dangerous for a lot of reasons because like now you're like at that point where you're only seeing this one person all the time and like your friends are feeling like neglected. Who would you rather have in like the long term? A person that you're dating or all the friends who've been there from like the beginning. But like everybody who I date, like I've always had a whole lot of like female friends. So people who I date, I tell them like I have friends who are female, they were here first. Like this is how it is. And like if they start like acting wild and like shit, then we can talk about it. But if we're just friends like and they have a problem with that, like no. Like, sorry, like you're not.
I feel like there's like early signs of toxicity.
Absolutely.
It's
controlling,
it's controlling, it's toxicity, it's trust issues.
Where's the
like,
trust?
It's another thing if you don't have, you know, trust issues and we communicate that. Like, hey, if you're not comfortable, babe, with me going out with him alone, like, okay, that's fine, come with us. Or, you know, hey, I'll call you when I'm there. Or something like that. Like having those boundaries, communicating those boundaries. But if they're just like, no, you gotta cut her off. That's where you're just like, listen, like I can't be in a relationship with someone like that, and you have to be comfortable enough to be like, hey, listen, you know, like this is a problem, like this is something that you're gonna have to kind of come to terms with because I mean these are all of my male friends, and I wouldn't give them up for anybody. And that's again what we were talking about earlier, where you need your friends because they're your stability throughout your relationship process. And if this male is abusing me emotionally, physically, whatever it is, they're going to be the ones to pull me out of it. So I need these relationships to be healthy. Right. You know what I mean? And so that's really where you got to protect yourself. And the
all right, give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm sorry. Real quick in the comments, that said that's hard in relationships. The respect has to be mutual. Can't get with it. I don't know what you meant by that, so you can get in the comments if you'd like to. But we only got 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining on the live. Wow. So last time I went live and it just ended, I lost that live. So I'm gonna end it and then
so you can save it. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Something like that, but we can keep going. We still have that camera. And then We still got this camera, so fix this.
Oh, to touch on what you're saying, like how, you know, if they're not comfortable with you going out with your friends, whatever, and you'll call them, like, I feel like that's toxic in itself. Like,
Absolutely.
me calling you to let you know where I am, and me calling you to let you know, oh, I arrived here. Like, I feel like, in a sense, that becomes controlling.
Yeah.
Because
Then they
he's
expect
gonna
it.
always
They
expect
expect it,
that.
yeah.
And then when you don't do it, then it's gonna be an issue.
It is a problem, yeah.
And like, I've been in that situation where, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I made it to my cousin's house, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then it's all, you know, why did you call me when you got here? You know, I need you to stop going over.
I like to check in with somebody.
Yeah,
Be
like,
like,
you're checking in.
when you get home at the end of the night,
that's all
Right.
But wait.
So this is like me real quick. So like I do that. So like let's say me and Lexi were going out, right? If I know that. Let's say Lexi was a good texter for once.
Some parallel universe.
So like a parallel universe.
I hear you, Austin. Let him talk. What you talking
So
about?
like let's say you go out to the bar, right? Cool. Hey, I'm at the bar. Text. Hey, I left this bar. I'm gonna go to this bar over here. If I don't have your location or anything like that, if you're my girl like that, I would like to know. Like, let's say you go to View House. All right, cool.
But that's like that's
But
exhausting.
every
Every job. That's too much.
But what is a 2-second text? Be like, hey, I'm at View House, right? Hey, I'm at Gin Mill. That's it.
Right.
All they check.
But that's too many check-ins,
How was
and
that?
it sets the expectation
Wait.
to where I always have to check in, and it's like, all right, we literally just left this place, so we got kicked. Like I'm not there. It just seems.
And then it becomes
too
like
much.
it's a pressure.
Right.
Like, oh,
I have to text in. Yeah.
Real quick.
My phone died. You know.
I think that has to be something that's okay with you.
You're
or your girl.
right.
Right.
It's totally
Because if
true.
it was me, I'd be like, if this mofo don't stop texting.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's not like
Like, I get that you're, like,
it's
you
I
want to
want-
know and be protective.
Yes.
You want to know where
So-
she is. Like, I get that sense. However, it's just too much pressure trying to keep up with that all the time.
Wait, but I have
It's
a question.
exhausting.
So what is that like? What does that do for you? Like when you
Take
know,
her
like
out.
she's at
Take
Gin
her
Mill,
out.
is that just like it makes
is.
you comfortable?
Like,
Like
it
not
is.
even for like a
I'm
shooting
gonna
thing,
say
but like
something.
as like for a safety thing, like you know
Yeah.
where she is,
So
like in case something goes wrong.
yeah, because that's exactly what happened when she didn't do it this one time.
Okay.
So let's say now y'all get to hear why.
So it's Rudy.
So what happened was,
I was laughing. I was
she
like,
went downtown, right?
Yeah.
Was out wherever she wanted, going wherever. It was cool with it, right? She's out with her friends. I know she's gonna be safe because her friends got her back, no matter what, you know. But she had to go to the bar. I think she's at View House all night, you know. Hey, there was a big fight outside. My friend got kicked out. I don't know what to do. Her ride's not picking up. I need you to come get me. All right, cool. Pull up to View House. Hey, I'm outside. Where are you at? She's 30 minutes away at another bar, because this area closed down, so they went to the other bar area. And this was back when I wasn't in Colorado at the time, so I was in California, so that's why I took a half hour. So they went to the other section, right? I didn't know. So drive up there, like, where you at? I don't know. So I would like to be like, okay, if I'm not at this bar, okay, let me know where you're at. Okay, you're leaving this side of town, let me know where you're going. Well, I don't see what's wrong with that.
And I understand that point of view too.
Yeah.
But like G was saying, it's gotta be both okay with you and that woman, because not every woman is gonna feel okay with that. Being, like you said, being pressured, always having to constantly let
Check
someone
in, yeah.
know where you're at.
As
It's
a guy,
almost,
I don't want to check in either.
at that point, it
It
becomes
seems
less like
unrealistic.
your man and then more like your dad. Because
Right.
now you're just like, oh, I forgot to tell my dad where's that. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of what it becomes. And like I said, it's not bad, because that's what I would like, you know, it's all a respective thing. I would just want to make sure she's okay, especially if it's a situation where she did do that, where she was like, oops, my phone died, couldn't text my man, we're all freaking way in bumfuck Egypt, and he ain't got no way to get a hold of me. So those situations can happen, but it's also, like you said, it's got to be established between you and her. Because
Right.
What's that?
You,
So-
I thought you said something. You had something
So-
to say. He got to defend himself. Talk to
So it was just like, so
He's lone wolf. He's lone wolf.
on what he was saying, she was cool with it. She liked it.
Okay.
She liked it.
Okay, so established.
She, you know, she was like, I never had no one. I haven't had no one ever want to know where I was at like that.
Right.
So at that
It's like a
point,
carry
she was
thing,
cool with
yeah.
it because she was like, "Oh, you're being protected." I was like, "Yeah." Because
Would you be?
And then so then it becomes a standard. You say, okay,
Well,
now I've
'cause, you know,
established this.
well,
I want,
It was cool when we did it. You know, it worked
Right,
out.
right.
And, you know, whenever something went bad, I knew exactly where she was, so I could go get her. Or
Right.
if something was wrong with me, because I did the same thing. I just felt it was
Can I
more
just
of a
be honest
respect
with you real
thing.
quick? I just feel like I don't agree at all.
Well,
And the reason why, why would you be like, all right, babe, where you at?
no, it's
Like what?
It's not even- it's not even-
Same time it
in
works
that
for
scenario.
them.
It's not-
Well, no, it's fine. But what I'm saying is, in this scenario, I just feel like it's not relevant because before you're on your way, you're like, all right, babe, cool, where you at?
Right.
Because downtown is downtown.
I get that.
You're gonna jump around every 2 minutes, and
No.
so like if you're on your way, like, all right, babe, where you at?
And it's
Oh,
not like
cool.
every single fucking bar, you know. Like if you leave
Like the area?
the area, go to a different street.
I-
you know.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, I feel like that even stems past just like a relationship. I have problems like that with my boy.
Like,
Sorry,
she just did not
Would you be
let
upset?
you know.
No, I
would
mean,
it be an issue?
I would like to know where she was at. Yes.
Right.
If she didn't do it, cool.
Okay.
It wasn't like you need to do this. I need.
I'm
this
gonna
is the
beat that
fucking
ass when
rule.
you get home.
I would. No, it was more of like I'd appreciate it
Right.
if you text me where you were at throughout
And
the
I also
night.
think that
Yeah.
works for your relationship. I think that was good for you. I'm just letting you know in your next relationship,
Yeah.
you don't do the same thing.
No,
Right, it
and it's
might
not
not
like
be-
it's a standard.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, question.
Hey, I would like it if you did this. If you
Right.
don't, okay, cool. All right.
I understand.
That kind of answered it. Like, so what if you were like, hey, I know you and your girls are going out. Like, can you text me? Like, and she's like, no. Are you gonna like feel some type of way?
No,
about
if
that?
she says no, I want to be out with my girls. That's a valid ass reason. Like, you know, I don't want to text you because I don't want my phone out. You know, your ass is gonna be on Facebook half the fucking time.
Snapchat, all girls dancing, they sing this working shit.
So yeah, exactly. Just by knowing these two and how much they Snapchat, that phone is gonna
I
be in
don't.
your
First of all, I
hand.
don't Snapchat. I Instagram.
First of all,
Check in short I didn't mean to get off topic, Marcus.
No, it's totally
Continue to
fine.
the check-in thing.
So on the check-in matter, so I've been in it was early college, but crazy relationship involving somebody who, if I didn't text them back,
Was this Bush?
no, this is Pennsylvania. This is Philly. This
okay.
is before your time.
No. I'm not even rehearsing. We'll come back later.
No, but like if I didn't text this girl, like she would flip the fuck out. And there was one time where I went to the bars, I'm just bar hopping, having a grand old time. I'm super shit faced. I didn't text her all night, and then I go to my door, and she's sitting like on the stoop, waiting in tears.
Oh
like,
my God.
fucking, like ready to tear my head off. And I was like, yo, I've been having the best night of my life. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you? And just like and I understand the safety thing, right? Like I understand you should check in. Like I just want to know that they get home safe at the end of the night. But the little checkpoints, it's like I don't need the details.
Right.
Just have fun.
end of the
but let
night,
me know you're
text
safe.
me, yeah.
That's
We
it.
do that, like, text me when you get home.
Yeah.
Text me when you get home.
But like I said,
Normal.
it's not a,
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah,
game
it's not-
plan.
yeah, you're fine.
It's a, alright, you know, like I'm gonna text you, I miss you, you know, I'm thinking about you,
Yeah.
whatever like that.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want like a start of the night and the end of the night.
Right.
That's it.
We can all agree on
Yeah,
that.
we're going out, baby's home safe, and I don't care about the in between.
Are you
Right,
shit faced?
right.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
All right, I have two more questions that I want to ask. For the first one, I'm gonna do like a quick jump around, and then excuse me, I'm drunk, I'm high.
Yes, you are.
And then for the last one, y'all can get in deep. We can take the rest of the night talking about it, but this one will be quick. So it's a two-parter, and then it's like the first thing that comes to your mind, and then on the second thing, the first thing comes to your mind. Okay. So what is your favorite thing about your favorite ex?
Sex.
Woo! What's the worst thing about your worst ex?
About the what? The ex?
Your worst ex. The worst thing about your worst ex.
Your phone.
Favorite thing about your favorite.
Oh, God.
His
Oh, you're your favorite now.
Why
His
is
favorite thing
it?
is
Just kidding.
I like that. Worst Worst thing about your worst ex?
He was a cheater.
Favorite thing about your favorite ex?
Her ability in the prime of it to take care of me, cook for me, you know, like make me feel comfortable. Worst thing was obviously fucking cheating.
Oh, same person.
Same
Yeah,
person.
same
Your
person.
favorite?
Yeah, I would say that.
Favorite and the worst.
I think
Yeah.
Talk to me. Favorite thing about your favorite ex?
Just how she used to be, just like open with everybody. Like if we met, she'd be like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?"
Nice.
Like welcoming.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I don't know how to really. I don't know what the
Just
word
being
is.
friendly.
Right, friendly, outgoing.
Yeah, she was
Happy,
very
yeah.
like she didn't care like who you were, but it was always like, let's make it a good time.
Right. Worst thing about your worst?
Oh.
I know it's like it's a fucking
It's probably her ability to not have sex with the dudes.
That's very valid.
Yeah,
Very
that would
valid.
be a problem.
Favorite thing about your favorite?
Yeah, sex. Obviously.
Worst thing about that's not obvious.
Like what else would be the point? I know.
That's how you know he really hates him. It's the favorite memory, and it's just like fuck all that other shit.
Everything else.
You ain't have no good other qualities.
I like you for 30 minutes to an hour.
30 an hour?
I gave a range there. Just
Yeah, a very large range. Anyway.
Let's make it more in between that, like 5 to 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
that 5 to 10 minutes is everything.
We counting dog years. You gotta multiply that number.
Oh, we're going past 5 tonight. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was so close. So
Jordan, your worst?
Worst.
The worst thing about your worst.
I would say.
That's what I
No, I would say like the lying and manipulating. Cause like coming out of that and like looking at like you're like, what the fuck am I thinking?
Right.
Talk that shit.
Right.
Again.
2020. Shay Lizzie, favorite thing about your favorite ex?
I would say the fact that I could be completely like 100% myself. Like hair, no, like looking terrible. Probably smelled bad. I don't know, like just like the worst of the worst. And they're like, no, I mean just being a human, you know, like being at your most vulnerable state.
Sure.
And they're like, no, I accept you. Like I love you for that. Like you're fine. Like we could just, like your best friend. You know what I mean? Like how I am with Lexi. Like titties out. Like just
Titties out.
Anyways, but
Titties.
least favorite thing.
Worst thing about your
Worst. Okay, same person. I would say their insecurities. Always having to reassure, and that's exhausting. I mean,
I'm a Pisces, man.
no, it is. It's
I'm insecure as fuck.
Yeah. No, I mean the reassurance.
Okay, I'm gonna say something on that. Probably directed toward you. Confidence is the sexiest thing.
I know, and sometimes I struggle. Honestly, like sometimes I'm feeling it, other times I'm like,
Hold
I
up.
don't know, like,
I got you
off
for
and
that
on,
one, bro.
Yeah.
Off and on.
Got
Sure,
you.
sure.
But you're working on it.
I'm wearing white pants, right? Fuck.
Yes.
Favorite thing about your favorite ex?
The way she was able to love me as a person helped me become better. She was just that type of woman. The worst thing about her,
Same person?
different person.
Okay.
Different person. This ex, how indecisive she was.
I thought you tried to slide it in. I thought you said the sex, but how she always.
Insecurities.
With all my exes, the sex was great every single time. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Blessed.
But yes, very blessed. Oh my gosh. But her indecisiveness, I was a phase, quote unquote, to her.
I punched the shit out of her.
Man, that's cold. That's
I was a
cold.
phase.
Man, someone told me that. Was rip off my shirt.
Mexican white.
RKO.
She dated a black man before me. She dated another black man before that, and then I was the third black man, and then she started dating.
She was a black person face.
That's so
It
funny.
was kind of, I didn't look at it like I was hurt, but I was just like, this is the first person that was like, I got in a relationship in high school. Like, why was it like this? Like, why did it get so bad? I see everybody else so successful, and I was like, yo, why am I a phase? Like, I just got into
Did
this
she
shit.
like say those words? Or
Yes,
was it-
absolutely.
Oh no.
I not
That
to,
seemed deep
so
rooted
not to
somewhere,
my
right?
face, right? You know, when she had broke up with me, she was with somebody else in the stands during a basketball game. I went.
Do I know this person?
You know this person.
Oh, okay.
I know.
You know who it is. And I had one of the other friends come back to me and said, you know, why is blah 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 up there with dude in the stands? And I'm like, well, apparently she broke up with me. And she goes, oh my God. She went up, she told her, she's like, oh well, blah blah blah. He's not my type. I was going through a phase with him. And then she came back and told me that. The other friend came back and told me that and said, she's such a bitch. Like, I'm here for you. I can't believe she said that shit. And like, I went and actually confronted her about it. And she was like, I mean, I didn't mean it like that, but that's what it was. And I was like, wow.
What? I didn't mean it like that.
Sorry.
No, you meant
No,
it.
that's wrong.
And
Let's just say
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say for the record, this girl, because I know this girl personally.
Oh,
No, I just wanted to say
But
this real
in-
quick. She jumps around from the guy. She was always like that in high school. I don't
She
think
was,
it's
yeah, and
personal, yeah.
it was like, I understood, like, now today, when I'm like,
It all
after,
makes sense,
it all
yeah.
makes sense. And then when like, I actually talked to her when like, she was like in college, like when she first went to college, like I had a couple conversations with her, and she was like, I was in the wrong, I'm sorry. Like, I was being stupid as fuck.
Right.
But she had to grow, but like, at the time, being with somebody, that was the worst.
Absolutely.
Absolutely the worst thing that's ever happened. I've been cheated on, but like,
That hurt.
nothing hurt worse than just being a face. Like, I didn't even matter.
So like it's
It was just like for her to experience,
Enjoy it, yeah.
and then just me to have nothing to do with it.
Right. Like, I'm not even accused. Like, I'm being used right now. I'm not
That
even
detachment's
I'm not
rough,
first.
right?
Man.
Yeah.
Lex, talk to me, girl.
Hey, let's go find her.
How we get
You want me to fight her?
Look at the
Don't
eyebrow.
fight her now. She's cool now. She's cool now. Don't worry.
No, we're still gonna find
I know her personally.
Tell me what? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's cool.
Your favorite thing about your favorite ex?
Favorite? Well, what's funny is that I have 2 exes and one is good and one is fucking horrid. So it's like obviously those 2, right?
Okay.
So my first boyfriend, or my ex, right? The first one I say, it's hard because there's multiple things. Like that was the one that ended like mutually, and like I actually broke up with him because I told him that I didn't want him to go to college with a high school girlfriend. So I was like, hey,
Smart.
go experience.
Smart.
And then he found a girlfriend freshman year,
selfless-
and now they're engaged. So that's cool.
That's all.
Anyways,
It's selfless. It's selfless and selfish because he's not gonna hurt. Like, he's not gonna hurt her. It's still good for both of them.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of told him. Like, I was like, I'm not trying to have you come home from college to a high school girlfriend. Like, college is one of the best years of your life, and if you experience
That's
that in a
amazing for you to
relationship,
do so young.
you know what I'm saying? And so I told him, like, and he was a senior, I was a freshman too. And so I told him, I was
Oh,
like,
well, yeah, okay.
you're graduating, you're like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I'm fucking 16. You want to come home to your fucking 16-year-old girlfriend? Like that's
Go to
you're in
prom
college.
again?
And
Go-
distance sucks.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It
But
sucks. I've been there.
Anyway, it was a mutual
I'm
breakup.
not
We're
sure yet.
still like great. Like I don't want to say great friends because his girlfriend does not fucking like me, but whatever. Anyways, so I feel like with him though, like we were incredible friends. Like we could tell each other everything. We were actually best friends for like 7 years before we got together, and then like we were together for about 3 years. So it was a really good relationship, and I think with him, you know, it was like trust and just really comfortability.
Yeah.
We were really comfortable with each other. I mean, we knew everything about each other. You know what I mean? We were best friends. And so I think with that, I kind of model my relationships now. It's like, if I don't get to know you, I'm not just going to have sex with you. I'm not just going to get with you. Like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
You know? And then I think with my worst ex, he was very, like, emotionally and physically abusive. Like, to the point where it was just so hard because it goes to that reassurance phase. Of, like, he pushed me to, like, ridiculous boundaries of like me just walking to his house for 3 hours because I'm 17 years old and I don't have a car. I literally walked to his house because he told me that I was like a shitty girlfriend and like I should be with him right now. Like he was like, why aren't you with me? You're a piece of shit girlfriend. Like why aren't you with me right now? And exactly. And so it was just like a whole like toxic relationship, but I think it was that constant reassurance that was so toxic because when I was at work, he was at home just fucking being a bum, and he would think that I'm like talking to the guys at my work, talking to the guys like when I go get groceries, like just ridiculous to the point where he's just like, why aren't you here now? And like arguing with me at my grandpa's funeral. Like crazy shit. So like it's just like it's extreme insecurities like that. To where it makes you feel like shit, it makes you think that you're wrong,
Yeah.
when they're fucking just crazy.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Wait, actually, grandpa.
And so it's hard to get to that manipulation where you're like, oh my god, am I really like that shitty of a person?
Right.
And it's no, they are.
Yeah.
They can't fathom the fact that you're such a beautiful person and you love them when they don't even love themselves.
Right.
You're way
That's
too
real.
loving. You should never done that
And-
about yourself.
Dude, it was
Ever.
17.
Sounds. Yeah, that sounds.
You know what I
right.
mean? It was horrible.
I cannot
But-
disagree.
Whack.
Life
You have to
lesson.
know. That's when you could block and not have a friendship, right?
Yeah.
ASAP.
What about you, Gianna?
Last question?
Yes,
Oh.
this is the last
Alright, let's
question.
hit it.
But first,
My favorite thing about my favorite ex is
yeah,
that
say. Can't escape this.
we were just cool. Like I didn't talk to him about anything. We were friends at the very base of it. Like, and we were just compatible. So that was that. And the worst thing about my worst ex was that he was negative. Like I did care if he were to talk to other people. Like I don't want to say like cheat on me or nothing. Like I wasn't okay with that. But if I did find out that he was talking to another woman, I could easier get over that than his negative attitude toward every fucking thing. The
That's
world,
exhausting.
Like, and I'm like such a
Me
positive
too.
person,
Yeah.
and it's just you're just bringing me.
You can
down.
find,
Yeah.
literally, I always say this,
Yeah.
you can find anything to be upset about every single day. There's annoying shit all
You
the
wake
fucking
up
time.
just like you can.
Yeah,
for sure.
anything.
Yeah,
And it's
find
like you can
something
choose to
about
be
for
like
sure.
that all the time. It's so easy. Like it's so easy. But
It's
like
I can find.
I don't want to be like
something
live
be
my life
negative
like that.
about.
Fuck no. Yeah.
I can find something to be negative about. I could be in the same mindset
Right.
as you, but at the same time, I could also find the exact like something else to be
I'm
positive about. So you choose the positive. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he chose the negative, and what was me? I could not deal with that. Oh my god.
So you
Okay.
Walking around like,
somebody you could
turn
make me a
around
friendship
and
with?
die.
Which one?
Your favorite. Okay. You did. Oh, okay.
We don't. We'll come back to it.
Later.
Okay, this is the last question. Has any of your exes made you change your outlook on love?
Oh,
Oh.
for sure.
100%.
130%.
100%. I think I'll start there because I'm
Take
probably the person who's been single here the longest.
How long have you been single?
Since I was 21, so I'm now turning 28 in like next week. So
God
bless
bless
you.
you.
Years.
I'll be 27. I'll be 27 next
I was because like I had two girlfriends. Like my first two, they both cheated on me. So I was like I went through like all like the phases, like the man horror phase. I tried to get man horror and I fucking failed miserably. I'm terrible at it. I just call it every single time.
You want me to take over? You want to sit down?
Yes, girl.
All right, so I am so sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Yeah, so like I got cheated on twice, and then like I went through all like the phases. I tried to be a man horror. I was terrible at it. And then like man horror. I was terrible at it because like I just always caught feelings. It was stupid. I'm gonna tell her. Yeah, like I'm gonna text her back. It was stupid as fuck. And then like after that like I tried like being celibate. I was celibate for a whole year, and it was eye opening. And then from like there like
In
I
what
went
way?
through all the phases. Well, because like I didn't need anybody. It's
Ooh,
like
tasty.
it's like
Yeah.
I learned that like I don't need anybody to like fulfill me.
That's important.
It's like it's like if they're there, it's because I want them to like be there. So
That right hand got strong, didn't it?
no, exactly. Yeah, I was boxing back up.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't stop.
No, but like yeah, like for like a whole year. But like then like after that, I came out as like a new person. I was
Right.
like okay, now that I know like I don't catch feelings that easy. Like now like it has to be like a lot that have this like that be together. So I got over that phase where I feel that's like a man or woman because I was catching feelings. Now I'm just like I just don't really care because like you have to compliment me now. It's like it's like show me like why you deserve to like be here like around me, and it's like way easier, like life easier. But so far clearly nobody has proven that because I'm still single.
Hold on, yo. Let him finish. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let him finish.
Yeah, like clearly like no one's like lived up to that because I'm still single like after all this time. But like these days like I'm fine with that.
Right.
And I'm always gonna be okay with that. So.
Yeah, that's real. You remember when we was at? Hold on, y'all. Let's have this conversation.
You remember we was at Buffalo Wild Wings and it was me, you, Rob, and Terrell. And me and Rob was like, we can be single for forever.
Yeah.
And you and Terrell though was like, I don't know. You feel like you could be single for forever now?
100% now, yeah. Like I really like my quality of life has improved so much. Like paying off like all my own debt. I don't have debt, so now I'm really fucking living. I'm like, oh, what girlfriends? Yeah, fuck
right.
that.
No,
Share this.
Right.
No way.
Right.
This is great. Yeah.
Alpha male.
Yeah.
Alpha male.
Alpha male.
Alpha male.
And then not only that, you're like, I have my peace of mind right now. I'm gonna have to bring somebody else into the equation. I gotta start worrying about.
I gotta worry about how they feel and stuff.
Right.
Like it's just crazy.
It's just too much.
Well said.
All right. Has any of your exes changed your outlook on love? Facts. Snaps.
I wouldn't say for the worse.
Okay.
I would say for better.
Ooh.
Just because, after everything, it's like I thought that was the one,
Right.
I thought like I was engaged and everything, had a house, a dog, the whole nine, but just it didn't happen, But
Right.
I also realized that it was some stuff I had to fix by myself, But then it also gave me something to shoot for the next one. So I don't know.
So yeah, you just came out of it a different
better,
person and a better person for sure.
Whew, absolutely changed my perspective of love, but in a good way. Because like I placed so much emphasis on being with somebody and growing with that person that it forced me to grow myself and reevaluate what makes me happy, my passions, growing my finances, just building up my small empire.
Right.
And when I look back on a lot of the negatives, like she didn't have her money right, and she didn't have a lot of things that she was spending, and just the little things that could be improved. But now that I don't have that, I'm working on myself, and at first it was kind of hopeless, like, oh my god, I'm in my mid-30s and I don't have kids, or I'm not married, like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? But then it's like, I'm happy, and I moved fucking to Colorado a couple years ago. I love this place. I love the people that I'm with. I have a family here. And there's no point in dwelling on being sad and just beating myself up. And I do that often. Like something mentally that I need to deal with is that sometimes I'm very negative and I'm hard on myself. But there's always a positive outcome from that. Like I do a lot of music, so when I'm feeling down, I create a lot, and now I'm about to release an album and just work on myself, and grow. But it made me love the subtle things, the subtleties in life, rather than a person and putting it in that.
For real.
Yeah.
I love that.
For real.
Yeah.
Lex.
Girl.
Too much. Oh, dang.
Take some Claritin. Pop some Claritin.
She doesn't take two.
I got eye drops for you.
She has terrible allergies.
Anyways, dude.
My God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, so the question was, did your ex change your outlook on love?
Have any of your exes, not just one. Don't have that one in
She
mind.
only has one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I really have it because one was great, one was bad.
Okay.
Right? So like, I kind of learned lessons from both.
Okay.
They
changed your outlook on love?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's hard because like your perspective in love will develop as you continue to grow, and so I feel like if it doesn't change your outlook, that's a problem.
Absolutely.
Because you're not learning.
Right.
And so I feel like that's the thing of relationships, and that's experiences in general. Work, friendships, home, like confrontations, anything. If you don't learn anything,
You got me verklempt. I was verklempt.
You don't learn anything,
I was
it's a
smitten by
problem.
what you're saying.
So yes, I hope we've all learned. I think the biggest thing that I've learned, and I can't tell you enough how much I agree with Dorian, because I have and still am celibate, and I've been for almost 3 years now. And it's not necessarily like it's a choice. It's just to the point where it's just those standards.
Right.
And I hold my standards very high, and it's not like I'm just like, oh, I want to just fuck anybody. But it's like, you need to at least respect me.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, especially being with social media, like, they treat you like an object. And they treat you like an image because that's all they see.
Right.
And so they don't care when you're a pretty girl. They don't care to get to know you. They know what your body looks like.
Right.
And that's what they see first.
Right.
Which I get it, but I'm also human. And so that's to the point where I've just been where I haven't found someone respectable enough to feel like I've opened up to. And that's fine. But also, like, my last relationship was so toxic that I've developed that type of independence where I've been for 5 years, and I tell my friends all the time, I don't need a man. The man needs to know that they're in my life because I choose to.
Exactly.
And so I'm dating you because I chose you. And that's kind of where I'm at, is like, hey, like, I'm not trying to be cocky, like, listen, you're in my life because of that. No.
Yeah.
Listen, I chose you because I think you're a valuable partner for me and we can build each other. And so I think that being selective is not a bad thing. And I feel like I've been told from my family multiple times, like, you're too picky, you're gonna, you know, fucking die alone. Like, you're like,
so
this
young.
ridiculous
You're so
shit.
young.
And that's the thing that I'm saying is I'm not in a rush to be
Right.
in a relationship or have reliance on someone because I'm gonna develop my career.
Right.
And once I do that, I can dedicate myself to love.
For real.
Right now I'm dedicating myself to me.
Point blank
And
in the
that's all that
period.
matters.
Take all the time you need.
Yeah?
Come on, baby.
I feel like I'm about to turn it around. I feel like everybody else's experience has been so positive, but like, nobody look at me crazy when I say this. So like, I don't necessarily believe in love.
Let's go. Talk about it.
And
Like any type of love, or
Well,
just
like-
romantic love?
See, I love you.
Because I was gonna say, I feel love for you.
thank you. Well, no, I think
Thank you.
Say it back.
So that makes sense then.
That makes sense. It doesn't exist
I
for
love
her
you too,
vocabulary.
but like, I definitely feel like from all of my relationships, I don't really believe in like the concept of love anymore, especially not the concept of like true love and like throwing yourself like completely and wholeheartedly into like one person and like
Hold on, guys. I can hear you pretty loudly. Y'all over there. I can hear y'all pretty loud.
and feeling like
No
one
worries.
person is like the person like you're going to like give your whole life to. I think like starting out, I feel like I fully believed in like the fairy tale like white picket fences and like I'm gonna meet you and we're gonna be together forever, and now I'm
Right.
like, sometimes you're just not, and that's okay. And like you can have love for somebody without being in love with somebody, and that's okay. Like I believe in like platonic love and like other types of love, but I just don't know necessarily like if true love is a thing where like it's just like one person, all of it, all or nothing.
It's a fairy tale.
Yeah, I don't think that's healthy.
Question.
What?
Do you think it's because you haven't been surrounded by that? That's why you don't believe in it?
Who has?
Well, because if you have, you know, your parents are together and they've been together for like 40, 50 years, and you're surrounded by that type of love and that type of relationship, then you're like, this
It's
is
more
real.
believable.
Right? And then when you're surrounded by, you know, your mom and your dad, they're divorced, they've remarried, they dated other people, when you're surrounded by that, do you think that's why you have that mentality?
Possibly, but I also feel like just from experience, like and I've seen it with other people. Like I've seen people who, you know, like their grandparents, like, and I know people who've been like madly in love with each other, and just like I don't think for me that's a thing. Yeah, personally, I'm sure.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
you believe that love exists?
Just not for your own.
You just said you seen it with other people that were madly. in
Yeah,
love.
I do. So I believe love exists, but like I also feel like I also don't know their relationship like 100%.
In real life.
Yeah. So like everything can look picture.
Do you feel like in your own relationship, like it could get there for you, or no?
Wait, you in a relationship right now and you don't believe in love?
Sorry, did I?
You might need an 86.
Get
I don't mean to call you out, but I am genuinely curious about, you know, if you are in a relationship.
I mean,
how do you
possibly,
feel
and
about
I'm completely open to having my mind changed.
it? Right.
Yeah,
But it
just-
takes time. I mean, I feel like true, genuine love it's not over. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
And I also think that, you know how people see this ideal of like the 80-year-old,
Yeah.
they're like, it's two 80-year-olds together, they've been married for 102 years, but they only 80 years old, you know.
Yeah.
Correct. I also think that has a lot to do with compatibility as opposed to being in love. So maybe we're not in love anymore, but we are compatible, so we're writing this shit out. And they've also had different standards to, you know, grow up in. So I think that is a different look on love. But I do think that love, there's 7.4 billion people on this planet, girl. It could be out there. She like, no. Hey, I'm here.
I'm definitely open to having my mind changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Key to beta.
So for me, I had someone change my perspective. At first, it was for the bad. At that point, like when we broke up, like I've never cried so much in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I had to figure out, like, you know, I hate love. Like, I don't want to feel like this ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the time that I needed to grow. And I took a year out, and I was celibate as well. And in that year, I learned to love myself and figure out who I was. So then I was open for love again.
Okay.
But for me, you know, like I said, love is what you make it. Like, nobody has a definition of love. So, you know, you can love somebody else in a different way and they love you in a totally different way.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of what you make it. And like right now where I am in life, like I want that love.
Mm-hmm.
I want to experience it. My heart is open. And you know, you just want that. And so like, you know, the American dream, like I want a husband, I want a family, I want a house. And so because I want those things so much, like I won't give up on love. Like yes, I can provide that for myself.
Right.
However, I will want to spend my life with somebody and provide that together. So I guess, you know, in the beginning, like I didn't want love, but eventually as I grew, learned who I was, then now, you know, since I know me and I love me,
right,
now I can love somebody else.
Woo! That's it right there, but that's point blank in the period. She got snaps! All right, come on, camera woman, get in here, girl.
Well, then it won't be consistent because I haven't been in the rest.
We want you to speak.
This is going, it's at the end.
You know, you can just slide it over. You gotta get it.
It's at the end, so anything can be added right here.
Okay. What was the question?
Has any of your exes changed your outlook on love?
Yes, I have had an ex in the past that changed my outlook on love. It's like the first love that you have, and that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very traumatic experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I didn't believe in love. It was just like, I'm just having fun. I don't want to invest into it. But after a while, you just have to look inside and grow, and then open yourself up, and that's it.
All right.
Can I ask you one last request? Can we get them to do their interviews?
Oh yeah, they will for sure.
I gotta see it now.
For
I gotta see it now.
You'll see, it's an ode to love. You'll have an ode to love. But they didn't even answer their question.
Oh, we didn't either. We didn't. Okay.
No. And I gotta ask, what was the question again?
No worries. What has any of your exes changed your outlook on love?
Yes, and crazy to say this, but it's probably not for the best. It's probably not good. The reason that it is because it stems back to being in a phase.
Right.
So when I was younger,
traumatized,
I always thought it was my fault. So I was very pessimistic going into like college and going out of high school. So I didn't have a lot of girlfriends. I didn't have no confidence. And I became what we call a beta male. What a beta male is. A beta male will concede. We will put everything into a woman that, you know, may or may not deserve it, but you'll give them everything, treat them like they're everything, but you don't love yourself. So it's in a role reverse to say it's just like a man is controlling and abusive a woman, telling you you're nothing without me. It's the same thing that I was thinking in my mind. I'm nothing without them. Like they're on the pedestal. I have to treat them like they're queen every single time. When in all fairness, maybe they really don't deserve that. Maybe they're just like a regular person. They're a regular human being like everybody else. But I couldn't love myself. So it made a lot of my relationships for the worse. That's why I don't have a lot of relationships. I'm probably had only like 5 girlfriends my entire life. And it's not really a bad thing, but it's just 26. 27. Old as hell.
In August.
Old as hell. But Wait. I'm the oldest person here.
No.
Kind of lost my train of thought with it. But, like I said, at least in my defense, it was for the worst because I was very conceding. And I still have a lot of those traits, like just letting a girl stay on her phone and just being like, that's fine. Not taking that initiative to say,
No,
why
it's
don't
not
you,
okay.
you know,
Get
why
rid
don't
of
you-
that
Why don't you jump
ASAP.
on so you can talk to me? And you know, then them say, oh, who wants my team? Okay, you're right. And I just never had that because I always thought since then, when she told me I was in phase, it's like, it's you. It's not them. Yeah, it's not about the woman, it's you. So I kept trying to be better.
I'm gonna have a question for you, but after we get to Shaylee, so you can.
You can ask a question.
No, I'm
no,
gonna
it's
go.
your turn.
Go, because I'm gonna end it soon.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then we
Okay,
can just talk if y'all want to.
Yeah, so I've had, I mean, I think, yeah, my ex changed my outlook on love. I don't know. I would say, like, what I thought love was when we were together was just, like, being together completely and not really having a sense of myself and really not doing much other than being with him. And I think once that relationship ended, I realized that I need my friends, I need my family, like, I need that outlet and to be my own individual person. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like now when I get in a relationship, I know that I'm gonna be like, hey, like we have our relationship, but I also have my friends, my family. Like I have a very close friend group that I care about deeply, and even with my family, you know, and it's something that I'm not willing to like compromise anymore. And I invested so much of myself where I completely lost myself. So I think that's one thing that changed my outlook on life.
All
Yeah.
right.
You know, honestly, I'm a little drunk, so it's really hard for me to like
That's
compose
perfect.
thoughts in my head. So I feel like that's not what I wanted to say completely, but I just can't.
It's
I
fine.
feel a little, yeah.
It's fine.
All you ladies are lovely.
Thank
It's
you.
fine.
You're lovely, Marcus.
All right, everybody, we're gonna wrap this up.
You
Thank
like that?
everybody for coming.
Thanks, G.
Episode 2 down. All right, but stay tuned for the Ode to Loves after the turn up.
Wait, are my nipples hard? Okay, never mind.
I'm putting that in there for sure.
An ode to love. Love, I may lie and say that I don't want you. That I don't think of you because I'm not desperate and I have my own life and I'm independent and I don't need a man or love to fulfill me and satisfy me, but love, I think about you all the time and I want you and I don't need you, but I feel like we might have a fun time if like you were to come. So, you know, if you just, the universe, if you want to just send some love my way, you know, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'm kind of drunk, so.
I feel like to love, I would say, I feel like if I can't find you with or like within another person, like I hope I can find you for myself. And then maybe then I can find it in another person because I really do want to believe in you and I want to believe you're out there, but I don't think I know you as intimately as I should yet. And then maybe once you and I get well acquainted, we can team up and find somebody else and maybe we could really learn, you know, what it is to be like happy within ourselves and somebody else as well.
I think love is awesome. I think love exists, and I think that love will find me. It doesn't matter the timeline. I don't care if it finds me in 20 years. I don't care if it finds me in 2 years. I know that I'm a lovable individual. I know that I'm an independent individual, and I know that I deserve love, and I think that God has a plan for me, and I'm very patient with that plan, and so I think that love will find me in a very healthy and kind way to where that I know that I deserve because I've been through the ringer. And I think at this point he's like, but you need a break. So he's gonna bring me someone that I feel like I deserve, that we can build each other. And I'm more than patient to wait until that happens. So it's gonna be exciting, but it's gonna happen when it happens.
My ode to love, to you, the one that I need the most, the one that I strive to be better every day, the one that I wake up and sometimes forget to put my socks on, and you say that's fine, as long as you don't walk outside, make sure you got those shoes on. I wish you could see me how I see you. I want you to be with me, a part of me. I want you to be there with me wherever I go, wherever you go. You and me
are everything. So without you, I'm nothing. But if I can't find it in me, how are you gonna be able to find it in me and find it in you? It's everything.